Hello, everybody. This is Nathan on Shuffle here with Jana,
Hello.
doing a little bit of a special kind of tribute episode today, a little bit different than our typical Jana Reacts. This is a tribute to the artist David Longdon, who's the lead singer, frontman, multi-instrumentalist of Big Big Train, one of my all-time favorite groups. He unfortunately passed away this past week. He was 56 years old. He passed away November 20th, 2021. So it's been a really difficult thing to process. It was kind of, there's not many details, but some kind of tragic accident that causes death. And so a lot of people are in mourning and grieving over this situation because it's such a huge loss for, of course, for the family and friends and bandmates, but also for all the fans and the people who really love this music like I do. I'm a huge Big Big Train fan, and was such an important piece of that puzzle and such a key member of the band. So it's a really tough thing to to deal with at this time. So I just wanted to do a show that kind of honored him and a way to just present his music to my wife, who I'm sure she's heard Big Big Train in the background as I've played them various times, but hasn't really had a dedicated listen to their music. So
it'll be exciting to hear what they got.
Yeah. So David Longdon, he's a multi-instrumentalist and songwriter and the lead singer of the band. He played a whole bunch of different instruments: flute, keyboards, acoustic and electric guitar, bass, mandolin, lute, banjo, accordion, percussion, dulcimer, psaltery, vibraphone, theremin, and glockenspiel are just some of the instruments listed that he played throughout his time.
I really admire people who can play so many different instruments, because I only played one instrument growing up in high school marching band, and that was hard enough. So I don't know how people do so many. It's really a talented ear and a talented person who can do that. So
for sure, yeah. And he joined the group for the album Underfall Yard. That was his first with the band Big Big Train, which came out in 2009 is when he joined the band, along with Nick DiVirgilio. To me, that's kind of where the band really began to be important to me, at least. I know they had a career before that, but this ushered in a new era for the band, and I think his voice and his influence in the band was a large part of that, of what brought that kind of extra flavor to the band that was really what drew me in at that time, and I've followed them ever since. He's a big piece of the songwriting, as I've been saying. I was writing down each of the songs he wrote for the band, or at least was a partial writer for, and I copied down about 26 different songs, some of the most important songs from the band in these past few albums. So and there may be even more that I didn't uncover, or I'm not sure which ones he's written on the upcoming album. They still have an album coming out next year in January. So Welcome to the Planet, which will have he'll be a main feature on that. And I, probably is a songwriter on that as well. So that may add some extra songs to that tally. When wanting to figure out a tribute style show, I really thought deeply about it. I talked a bit about what happened in my New Music Friday episode a little bit, but I thought it's kind of important to pass on his legacy a bit in his music. I think that's the most important thing we can do as fans and as people who appreciate his music and his voice, that we can share it with other people, and in that way his legacy kind of lives on in a sense through his music. And so I thought a cool way to do that in my world, in my way, is to do a reaction, so I can share it with my wife, and we can share it with all of you that watch our videos and appreciate our content. Hopefully, maybe if you don't know the band or don't know David Longdon and his work, that this can introduce you into that world and all the different things that he's created, which are all fantastic. So that's kind of what I thought would be nice to do.
We've not reacted to them before, right?
Yeah, we haven't done a Big Big Train. We haven't. Usually we shuffle into the songs that we choose, and we just haven't shuffled in. It's on my list, and I figured we'd shuffle into it at some point, and they're still on the list. We'll still do Big Big Train, I'm sure, at some point when we get there. But I thought I'd put this in just as a tribute, kind of, this is actually a choice that I chose. It's not a shuffle. Picking the song was a difficult thing too, because I wanted to pick something that really, to me, showcases David Longdon and his spirit, and was a song that he wrote. I thought would be really a great choice, and something that maybe has meaningful lyrics that kind of express something that I think can that is meaningful for this situation, I guess. And so the song I'm choosing is Telling the Bees. It's not very overtly progressive, but it's just a very sweet song that talks a little bit about life and death and kind of the cycle of things. So I thought it was fitting. It's written by David Longdon, and he's a huge part of it. So we're going to do actually a video. They have a music video of it. Yay. So I thought it'd be fun to watch it, and then you get to see David Longdon kind of in action, at least for this music video performance. So I thought that would be nice, and then we can talk about it and kind of delve more into maybe the lyrics, and just hopefully give a little bit of a tribute that way.
Okay.
So
all right, let's get set up.
All right, let me pull it up.
1, 2, 3. My mother said, listen, son, your father's gone, now the time has come. You must tell the bees he gave his life. Drape black cloth over the hives. By until the day that Jenny caught my eye. I walked over and I asked her for a kiss. Sweet taste of honey on her lips. Telling the bees, telling the bees, telling the bees, telling the bees. And the bees were told on the day we wed, wildflower garlands draped our marriage bed. Now 2 years old, we have our son. The bees were told and we carried on. Telling the bees, telling the bees, telling the bees, telling the bees.
That was a lovely song.
Yeah? You like
that
one?
Was beautiful. It was beautiful and just heartwarming, you know?
Uh-huh.
They have a lot of band members.
Yeah.
Like, like all band. Those people are in there.
Well, at this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this album, Folklore, was released in 2016. Mm-hmm. Which is one of my favorite albums by the group. This is kind of the closing track from that album. And yeah, this was the full band at the time. Since then, a couple members have left the group. We were kind of left with more of a core group of the band for their latest album. But at this time, yeah, they had a pretty expanded lineup with violin and, different members, guitar, keyboard.
Big train had a big band.
Yeah. And what's a great attribute of the band is just they have a lot of different instrumental stuff going on. Like they have some brass sections, some like violin playing. There's like accordion at some points, and like different type of instrumentation.
The accordion and the violin part that came in, that was just really lovely. Yeah. And then I'm always a sucker for any songs that have na-na-nas in them, you know?
Yeah.
So I love that. And everybody was like in it and singing, and it was great.
Yeah. I always like because like I said, it's not like super proggy necessarily. Yeah, no. It's more of like a more straightforward kind of.
That could be like a pop hit. That could be on the radio. Like,
I mean, it's kind of folky in a little bit.
Pop's not the right word, but popular is what I mean.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's a beautiful song that he wrote, David Longdon, and so I thought it would be nice to share. He wrote a bit of a blog post about kind of the writing of this track that I thought was kind of cool. He said, telling the bees is a traditional bit of folklore surrounding beekeeping. There's also a notable poem with the same title written by John Greenleaf Whittier. My version, David Longdon's version, is inspired by the folkloric tradition rather than Whittier's poem. He wrote it on a 12-string acoustic guitar. So it's based on that, and kind of an idea about beekeeping, about like passing this skill down, I think, through different generations, so to speak. So it says in the song narrative, a grieving war widow tells her son that he now must tell the bees of his father's death and pick up his mantle and become the next beekeeper. And he said, I like the idea that these traditions would keep on being passed down through the generations. This, of course, is a very strong theme of the whole album. It's about telling these traditional stories and passing them down through the generations. So this song has a sense of the passing of time, and of course significant life events come and go throughout the years. Now the father is gone, the boy has had to become the man who carries it on. Years later he meets a girl, they marry, they have a son, and so on. So once the child is grown up, he too may choose to carry it on. So it's a simple lyric about the human cycle of life, death, and rebirth.
That's cool.
I just thought that was cool, just kind of expressing the meaning behind the song, and that's why I thought it was kind of touching to play as kind of a memorial of his music, you know, of David Longdon, because it's talking about kind of this life cycle and passing things on to those you leave behind, you know.
Yeah, that's
so.
that's beautiful. That's really touching, and I'm not sure how much I can add. I can't add much onto that. I think that it was just really, it's really just a very beautiful song with a very beautiful message, and I think he's left a really great legacy here just in this one song. Yeah. Let alone everything else he's done. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, that's just basically what I wanted to do here, is just pay tribute to an incredible artist and incredible man in general. Every account is that he was just a wonderful human being who was just so nice to those who he interacted with. And so it's a tragic story that he passed at this time. It was very unexpected. I was just really surprised by the news, and it's been difficult processing it and figuring out how to feel about it. And that's just me, who's a fan of the music. I can imagine it's even harder for those really close to him and stuff. So I wanted to pay respect in some way as much as I could with my channel and share some of his music. So if you haven't heard this music before, hopefully you'll go seek out Big Big Train. They're really a great band, and his contributions just make it that much more special, because his character, his voice, which we didn't talk about much, but like his voice is so special to me. Just the character of his voice, and it like has a very unique quality to it that I think is really special. It harkens back a little bit to kind of these classic prog artists like a Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins type, but I think he even auditioned for Genesis at some point in an earlier time before Big Big Train, but he adds his own unique character as well, and he's really great at storytelling and bringing these songs to life. So just a really special quality that's impossible to match. You know, it's going to be impossible to bring someone in to I don't know what the band's doing, and really it's not really the right time, I'm sure, to speculate on it, but you know, someone that you just really can never replace. So yeah.
We send our condolences to the family and the friends and the other band members. So we hope that healing comes. So
yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you guys found something that was meaningful to you here, and maybe it'll inspire you to go listen to some more of his music. That's really would be a great consequence to me of this video, would be to share more of his music. Even if you know him, maybe go out and listen to some of his music just to remember him by, I guess. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are all doing okay out there, and we'll hopefully see you in a future video. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Enjoy the music.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.